Sorry. Oh, good Lord. So this is Mojo, and I was really excited about this one. It's on canvas and not on panel, but it was a little bit of a different pose. Usually with this project, I do just the heads. I don't try to do a complicated thing, but I decided to do this one. And my friend Julie really wanted this one because this is her brother's dog, and it's her dad's old boat. And she said it's the place where her brother is happiest, especially if Mo, this is Mo, is fishing with him. Mojo waits and watches and is always wherever Brian is. And then we have little Monkey. So I think you must know that we have a pug too. So this is Monkey the pug. And Monkey belongs to our friends Allison and Steve and their children Svea and Orlo. And Monkey is the third pug in our little community of friends that has an animal name, because our dog is Bunny, our pug is Bunny, and then there's Monkey the pug, and then we also have friends who have an older pug named Pig. So Max said we have to do a puppet show about the 3 animal pugs, which I thought would be a riot. And then this is Moxie, and Moxie is, let's see, oh no, it was Peabody. I missed one, sorry. Peabody is this one, and this is another one that's a full body shot, and that was kind of a tricky one too. And I think I'm still not entirely happy with the face. I think I varnished all of them except this one because I think I still want to go back in. But Peabody, this is July 4th is when I painted this one. And his owner really wanted the full body because he's a puppy too. I see Anita's nodding her head because she's got a black lab pup named Max. Yep, so you know this pose. And the tennis ball was just so necessary. So that one I might light up his little face a little bit more. But that's Peabody, and then we have Moxie. And this is another one of those faces that it's like, what? I have to paint that one. I mean, this one, sometimes a dog looks like a Muppet, and it's a good thing. And this one is one of those cute Muppety looking dogs. This is Moxie. And the owners wrote, Moxie loved her people, including her family's friends and neighbors, and she was affectionate and devoted and brought comfort, joy, and love to all who knew her. We no longer feel her sleeping at our feet, but she'll live forever in our hearts. So that's Moxie. And then, let's see. I wanted to check oops, somebody is waiting. Sorry, I had somebody waiting in my waiting room. Come on in, iPhone. So then, after Moxie, we have Becky's dog. And I didn't get the name of this one. And I think it's not gonna work the way I was hoping it was gonna work. My husband is standing here looking at me, I think, wanting to see if he can help.
Can I run somewhere then?
Can you text Kat?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, first. Okay, sorry people. This is life in a busy house is what this is. So this is Becky's dog, and this was I love this one because of how the big nose, the close up nose thing that always really fun. It was fun. That one. Let's see. And then we have, wait a minute, was that 9 already? 6, nope, 7, Lucy. This Lucy. Here is another black dog on black. So it's one of the cool things about playing black animals on black is you end up you're working with just the shine. And with this one, I actually went back in and lightened her eyes up because I was a little worried about them. But I kind of like the psychedelic orange on this one. This is Lucy. She's 5 years old and loves to be with her people, especially her human kids. Lucy for this project, I think. That's Lucy. And then I think his boss, yes. So this was a fun one. This is another one of those poses, kind of like Becky's dog up there with the big nose. So the photo was one of those ones where you couldn't quite resist it anyway. And I was like, gosh, that's really tightly cropped because it was very, very, like his ears are actually poking out and it was kind of tricky. And sometimes a photo, you might not want to do it. But this one was it's just really great. He's got such a great expression on his face and it seems to work really well. And Valerie didn't give me anything about him. So that's that one. And then I think we have Jasper. Yes. Oh, no, Lila, the big one. So this is Lila, which is she's one of those kind of all-American looking kind of mutt-like shepherd dogs with that big, happy smile. I'm loving that one too. And the green, I think I made this background. Yep, the background was partially purple over here. There's decisions you make as an artist that sometimes change, and it's amazing because if you do a background and you're kind of like, nah, I don't know, that doesn't seem to be working. It's not a bad thing to go in and switch stuff around. So then we have Jasper. So this is Jasper. This is my cousin Jody's dog out in Seattle. And I think I painted Panger, and then I'm blanking on the other one. So this is the third of a series of paintings for my Seattle cousins. And this was another one where I loved the face kind of looking off to the side a little bit. It's really fun when people send a number of images for me to look through and pick. That was Jasper. And now we're on to number 11. This is one of my favorites. This is Ruby D. And Ruby D, this was just, I mean, the eyes on this one in the photo, I was like, oh my gosh, can I really do that? And then I was really worried about getting those dandelions to work too, because that was kind of one of those look at it, but don't worry too much. Like, don't think about it as a flower. Just look at it as shape and as value. This one, this is what her owner has to say. She said, I lost my heart to Ruby D the moment I met her, but over the years it became clear we may have just been the same person in two different bodies. Every pet is unique and beloved in so many ways, but in a lifetime, one or two come along that are so perfectly fitted to be yours. It seems like proof of a benevolent universe. I love that. She greeted each morning with a pure joy that inspired me. I love that idea. That animal is there. There's a benevolent universe making sure that you connect with your soul companions. So that's Ruby D. I think she's a pug mix. Let's see. And then we have Emmett. So this is Emmett, and Emmett belongs to Kimberly. And Kimberly, I think Kimberly might be out of state. But here's what she wrote about him. She wrote, I adopted this handsome pup from Big Fluffy Dog Rescue in Nashville, Tennessee. He's a black lab golden retriever mix with a bit of mystery thrown in. Pyrenees, black bear. Emmett is a true gentle giant. He's 100 pounds of love, loyal companion, goofball, wannabe lapdog, and bed hog. He's a good watchdog, keeps me safe from chipmunks, squirrels, and deliveries, but would happily let a burglar in if they brought food. And I chose this one to be the cover of the book because I liked it so much. It was really awesome. Oh, thanks, Kelly. Yeah, iPhone person, I'm gonna actually mute you because it's making a little bit of noise there. I don't remember how to do that, Kelly. Oh, we have another visitor running through behind me. So that's Emmett. And this, again, is another black dog that I was just really loving doing that face on that one. So that's Emmett. Dun, dun, dun. And then Shiloh. This is Shiloh. So Shiloh belongs to a coworker of mine who's also a great photographer. Oh, Shiloh seems really, really shiny. So this one is another one. Obviously, I think I did more full body paintings this time than I ever have before. But this one, I just could not resist it because again, it said the dog, you have to have this piece in here with the tennis ball. You can't not have that. And Shiloh was just such a great expression on that face there. That was a really fun one. And that one had to be on a green background. Oh, and I think they wrote something. Oh yeah, Shiloh is a rescue pup from Kentucky. I love how many rescues we have. She found her forever home with us 6 years ago. She loves the summer months because she can eat the zinnias, which are apparently delicious. And then we've got Skye. What's this guy? This is Skye. So Skye is another kind of golden labby doodle. Let's see. Skye was rescued. This is what Lori says about Skye by RAGOM. That you rescue. I don't know what that stands for. From a commercial breeder 2 years ago. She used to live in a barn, have puppies, and probably ate food right off the ground. Now she is a house dog who eats from a Dansk bowl, sleeps on a couch or bed, her choice. She is loved by her forever family and smiles a lot. In rescue, Skye's foster dad introduced her to peanut butter toast. That tongue looks like it could really manage a lot of peanut butter toast. To this day, nothing excites her more than hearing the toaster click into action to prepare her favorite morning treat. Skye is sweet, beautiful, funny, smart, loving, and very loved. The toaster is a magic machine, not unlike the grill. I like that too. And then we have Phyllis. This is another one that I was like, oh my gosh, I have to paint that face. This is my friend Rachel's dog, and she's got another, I don't know if this is a purebred dog or because I don't think, she didn't really write too much either, but I think it's a Frenchie kind of mix. But with this one, there's just that kind of monumental face. And this is one of my favorite background colors. If you've ever taken one of my classes or heard me talk about my paintings before, this is a combination of quinacridone magenta and primary yellow, but I just love that one. So this one is Phyllis. Rachel is also really good at dog names because we got a dog from her once. And then this is Tully. This is Tanya's Tully. This was another one that's like, this was so much fun to do because this is kind of you're like, oh, it's just a regular dog. Like, that's a dog, but dang it, this is such a personality in that face. Tanya wrote, I wanted to give you a funny little anecdote about Tully. Tully, I hope I'm saying that right. Tully was sweet, but also quite mischievous. One evening, we were preparing dinner and she hopped up and grabbed the loaf of French bread and headed for the dog door. It took her 2 tries to realize that if she turned, then she could escape with her plunder. So you can imagine a dog going for the dog door. Bonk, bonk. So that was Tully. And then we've got Harvey and Hudson, which is this big giant one, which I think I was expressing earlier that I'm not even sure that I'm done with it yet, but that's the problem with doing a big one. But that's Harvey and this is little Hudson. It was just such a cute photo, but I've gone back in and done Harvey's head a few times and I'm not sure. It's close. I think it's close, but that's that one. And I also didn't get anything about those guys either. Oh, and then we have Maggie and Charlie who are up there and they belong to Kelly's sister. And Charlie, we struggled a few times to find the right picture, but I'm pretty happy with that one. He looks like a little bit of a goofball. Oh, here. I didn't bring Harvey closer because he was big, giant, but I will bring these guys close. So this is Charlie. And Charlie seems like a little bit of a goofball, but in a very good way. And it was a challenge to try to get the face quite right, because when you're painting on black, you do want to leave some of the black showing, but you also want to make it look soft. So it's soft and fuzzy and not harsh. So there was some like choices that I needed to make about how much white to put in and where to put it in there. And you can see he is shiny because I did varnish these guys because I want him to last. And this is Maggie, Maggie is just, that is such a great face. That one I'm pretty pleased with that one. And it's another one where there's enough black in here that I was able to leave so much of the gesso showing and just put in some of the details. Let's see, what did she rate? My sister's dog, Maggie, is a little skittish, but devoted to her. She's a cattle dog, and ain't she a beaut? And here's Charlie, the other cattle dog who belongs to my sister, Lisa. He looks very happy in these pics. He's a big goof. So it kind of seems to be the big goof image there. So there's Charlie, and there's Maggie. And then, gosh, and then do we have the other Maggie right next to Maggie? Yep, we have, let's see, 20 is Maggie. We have 21, Scout. We have this one. So this is one of the ones, a rare one that I actually repainted the whole thing. Do I have the other? Yeah, I do. Here. This is one of those situations where the owners sent me, and my friend Lori sent me this photo and wanted the, Scout painted, and the Scout story is so great. So I really wanted to do it. But then there was just something wrong. It wasn't quite what they wanted. And so they sent me another photo because they wanted his nose. So if you look at this one, you can see he has a nose and a little bit of a grin. And in this photo, you could not see the nose. So I was like, what? I don't see a nose. I don't understand what you mean. And it was more the fact that his nose sticks out. And in the other painting, it didn't look like it stuck out. So I repainted it. And here's Scout's story. Let me see if I can hold this without it getting glary. Scout is a rescue dog, a foster fail. A mix of Yorkie and Jack Russell, he was found walking a country road in South Dakota with his traveling buddy Scamp. Scamp found a home right away. So Lori took Scout to foster. We tried for months to find a good match for him. He had many admirers and met a good number of people who thought he might be the one for them, but there was always something. He was too tiny. He didn't like being handled. He growled at a 5-year-old boy who tried to grab him. He was not playful enough with Carlton the Cairn. After the 4th or 5th failed meet and greet, I took Scout back to the car and called my husband. He knew why I was calling and just said, yes. Scout and I sang all the way home, Lori said. And Scout's been with them for 10 years now. So that's one of those wonderful failed foster ones. So there's that. And then our next one is Tate and Hillary. So here's another double one. So this is Tate and Hillary. And this was such a fun one to do. I was kind of contemplating, I could have done 2 single headshots with this one, but this was a really good one. Let's see, the one on the left is Tate. He's a rescue. I got him when he was about 9. He was super shy and now he's kind of a knucklehead, but oh so lovable. Hillary is the diva. She's the queen and she bosses Tate around and she loves him too. They're both almost 4. So that was a fun one to do too. And this is a little bit of a different panel too. It's not the cradle panel, but the wood one. And that's July 22nd. So July 23rd is another Maggie. This one, this is Becky's dog, which this was a super fun one to do too, because it was another, I can't not do that whole body. Maggie, however, was lying on a patterned rug and I did not want to paint the entire patterned rug. So I changed it to purple because that seemed to kind of complement her dark fur. And what Becky wrote is, Maggie May has been the perfect addition to the Anderson household. She's a miniature Australian shepherd, enjoys multiple walks a day, and excels in obedience training. I need to get my dog back in obedience training. No matter what the day brings, Maggie has been our daily dose of joy, which I'm pretty sure is what most people get out of their dogs, because I know our pug has made life so much better for us. Pretty fun. And then we have Vincent and Bristow. This was another fun one because I wasn't sure what they wanted to do with this one, but this is Jeremy and his partner's dogs, and they were lying on the deck, and it was just one of those cool photos that I wanted to see if I could figure it out. So again, these are light colored dogs, which is tricky to do on black. So you got to get layer, and it's how much do I put down? And what Jeremy said is, we intended to get a single dog, but when we arrived at the breeders, we couldn't decide between them and had to have them both. They're 13 years old this year and have rarely been apart for their entire lives. Swimming and rolling in the sand are their favorite activities. So lucky dogs for living in Minnesota. That's Vincent and Bristow. And there, they go back up there. And then we have Taz. So here's Taz, which is another one of those great black dogs. So this is Adobe. And that's another, yeah, just fun painting the black. And Heidi says, we adopted 7-year-old Taz in January of this year from Doberman Rescue, Minnesota. We were told he was a casualty of a tough divorce and that he'd been left outside in a cage in the Minnesota winters, which is pretty darn hard for a Doberman, where he almost starved to death. He was with his foster family for almost a year, and apparently he was passed over for adoption because he was too big. He weighed a whopping 105 when we got him. Foster love. He has visible scars on his paws and legs, but he's incredibly sweet and affectionate and great with little kids. I love hearing that about dogs that have been through a rough time. Given his rough start, we were really grateful that he adjusted to his new home so quickly. And now we have an 85-pound lap dog. So good job, Taz. Get him down to a healthy weight. And let's see, that was July 25th. July 27th is Max, the Wonder Dog. And here's, ooh, jeepers. I have this ceiling fan on, and I just put Max into the ceiling fan. He's okay though. So this is Max. This is Anita's dog. And another glorious black dog. This was, he's just got such a strong face. And here's what Anita wrote. And if you want to say anything else, Anita, you certainly can. She wrote, Max is my COVID companion. And I know Anita's talked about this. All of our lives have changed because of COVID, and Max's life has changed too. Now 10 months old, Max started life going to puppy training, visiting family, meeting lots of people and dogs on walks, playing with dogs in the park. He loved it all. Now, with social distancing, Max watches dogs and people from across the street on walks. We are isolated at home with few visitors, so Max has fewer opportunities to play with other people and dogs. But Max is still my wonderful companion, still finding joy in everyday life, enjoying the garden and neighborhood in different ways, and providing an example of making the most of every day. Yes, Max came into my life at the perfect time. I really like that. Well written. Oh, here comes Sandra. So then we have, let's see, Leopold, I think. Oh, nope, Arwen and Ricky. Oh my gosh, Sandy, you are just in time.
Oh, yay.
This is Sandy's puppies. Arwen and Ricky. I've been going through alphabetically. That's so funny that you popped on right now.
Well, I've been on, but I just, I didn't have my name on there.
Oh, cool. Well, good. So Ricky, this is Sandy, Sandy's dogs. And I've met Arwen. I think I've met Ricky. Sandy.
Yeah, you might have met him.
Yeah. And Sandy wrote, Ricky is the Yorkshire Terrier and Arwen is the mix of cheap poopin.
Yeah.
They're best pals. Yeah.
They love each other.
Good. I got Arwen at the Humane Society when I went looking for a cat. I love
Yes.
Couldn't have dogs in my condo at the time, so she lived her first year with my daughter. Arwen is very sweet and loves giving people kisses. Ricky is shy and my right-hand guy. I think he'd be lost without Arwen. He is very sweet and loves to snuggle on my lap or anywhere near me and Arwen. Yay!
Thank you. I love it.
Yeah, this is a rare one to do one in this format, but the photo was just so great. And I'm like, oh my God, we have all these 6x12s. I'm going to pop that in there.
Excellent.
Here. And then we have Leopold. Oh, here, this is an awesome one. So this is Leopold, who is a neighbor here in my neighborhood. This is another one that I could not resist. I think, did she say he's a Chihuahua? I don't remember, but here's the story. So little Leopold was born and raised in a puppy mill as a breeder. His estimated age when rescued was about 6 years. And after spending a short time being fostered by some wonderful friends, he came to live with me in 2013. He is somewhere around age 14 now and is the king of our household. He is a very sweet boy and loves everyone. So this is Leopold. He's got another nice little smile on there. That was a fun one. And then we have another Lucy. And this is Lucy, who lived across the street from my parents, actually. And what they said is that Lucy was happiest if she was touching them. Which I think she's a Springer Spaniel. And sometimes those are dogs that don't love other dogs, but they love people quite a lot. So this is Lucy. I liked the deck in the back on this one. And then getting those feet in. This is kind of one of those really goofy photos that I thought worked pretty well. And then July 30th, we have Bungie. I think that's right, Bungie. And this is another pug. I did 2 pugs this year. Well, 3 if you count Ruby D. So this is Miss Bungie. She just, another pug. What Jay wrote, did he write one? Her name is Bungie, and she's named after a sensational drag queen named Miss Bungie. So I don't know, do you guys know about Miss Bungie? I don't. But pugs were designed, I was going to say. Pugs were the clowns of Chinese courts, is what I understand. And that's totally true about ours. So that's my part of the evening of my yammering and yammering. So I was going to leave the rest of the time open, like if people had questions or if you wanted to talk a little bit about your dogs. Let's see, I can go over that way so we can see those guys.
Dachshund dog that's right behind you? I didn't
What's
think.
that?
The little dachshund dog behind you. I don't remember you showing that. No, on the other side. No, behind your back. It's a little brown dachshund.
Oh, this one. Oh, you're right. This is Amy. Gosh, dang, you're good.
Oh, it's not a dachshund, but did you show that one to us?
No, you're right. I missed it. This is Amy. See, I remember the dogs' names.
That one just looked so cool behind you. And look at the pretty blue on its nose. That's really nice.
Thanks, Kirsten. Yeah, I can't find my sheet. I think Amy, the dog. I know there was kind of a fun story about her too, because she's a young hunting dog. Oh, a German short-haired pointer. She was born to hunt. So for her first 2 years, it was pheasants in Minnesota. Thanks so much, Kirsten. I don't know how I missed her. Then she moved to Northern California, where she now runs through the Sierra Nevada mountains hunting butterflies, lizards, and chipmunks. It's different, but she's still a hunter dog. Oh, such joy. Did you hear my background noise? There was a really fun photo of Amy, the dog, on the beach with a butterfly, because she like chases the butterflies. So she's so shiny. Thanks, Kirsten. Those are the dogs. If anybody has any other questions, I'm happy to take them. Otherwise, I'm also happy to sit here and have a glass of wine. But you can turn your mics on and chat now.
That Boss one has such a wonderful nose. You can, I mean, from a distance, you can see that. Isn't that one called Boss, the one that's all nose?
Yeah. Where did it go now?
Oh.
That one.
Yeah, that is so cool.
It is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that one was so fun to do. Oh yeah, the dandelion crown. Yeah, this one. I know thank you for letting me do this, because it really helps me to be able to see them all up. And I just wasn't sure how I would be able to do it. And I actually spent way more time hanging this than I usually do. And I was also like nervous all day today. Like, oh my gosh, I have an art opening tonight. Oh my gosh.
An event.
An event. And I've just been missing them so much, because it really is a fun time to chat with people. And then just for me to have a chance to like just look at what I did, you know? Like I painted all these wonderful things.
Your work is so great. I really love it.
Anita or Sandra, do you have your dogs live that you could show us? The ones that you mentioned?
Yeah, Max is kind of asleep.
I've got Ricky. Got Ricky. Hi, Ricky. Oh. And Arwen is hiding under a blanket somewhere.
Oh, there's Max.
Oh, cute.
Max.
Hi, Max. Hi, Max.
That's so great.
Well, Kat, I wondered, what did you discover? Excuse me, but I'm going to get my tree. What did you discover painting more dog? You said you painted more dog bodies this year than you have in the past.
I think it takes more time to do the whole body, and then it's a bit more involved. Like when you're trying to do something quick, doing your head is really probably your best bet, which is why when I do like one day pet portrait painting classes, I try to have people just do the head. Because with the body, you have to figure out how it's fitting into the background, you know, how, and the light is always different. And how much information do you need to include? Are you going to put a background in? And you do want some kind of a background, usually, if you've got the whole body. Like with Maggie up there, I don't know, I'm pleased with it. I think it works, but if I'd had even more time, I might have done more of an attempt to suggest the pattern of the rug in there. But I like getting the hardwood floors in. That's always fun. And the decks. That's a nice little perspective thing. But yeah, bodies are tricky, because then you've got arms and legs, and you've got, you know, perspective, like with Sandy's two over here, because they're in the beanbag thingy.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That actually, see, and I think all of that was neutral colors, real. And I put the purple background and the blue in there. I was like, oh, it works.
If you're doing more of the body, then their faces end up smaller too. So
yes,
your brush strokes need to be a little small.
Yeah, which is why I think I'm still not happy with Peabody here. So with this guy, there was so much information to get in the background that I'm not happy with the face. And I don't think I've got enough light in there that it reads quite right. Like you don't see his nose, it looks like a duck. I fixed the eyes. Like the eyes at first were not working, and now I think the eyes are fine, but they're still, I'm just not. That's why I didn't varnish this one yet. I only varnish them if I think I'm done.
Yeah, you really have that feel they have though when they go down like that play pose.
I'm going to show, this is the
You
picture
got
I
the
sent
energy
Kat.
of it.
Oh yeah.
That's the picture I sent you, Kat, and you did such a good rendition.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow,
cute.
look at that.
So good, yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah, did a good job.
Interpreting the photo because it's
Good.
I really like that background on the Doberman too.
Yeah.
The dog just really kind of jumps out of that background. It's just
I
great.
think that was a really busy background.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wanted it lighter to do the contrast with the
Yeah. Oh, I just think that works so beautifully. He just looks so alive there in that background.
It's like 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Oh, good.
I like the background on the one that has the pretty teal on its nose, the very last one you did.
So let's see. The teal. You mean the Amy one?
Yeah, does that have that kind of background too? Kind of pretty? Yeah, that's pretty.
She was on the beach.
It's almost like it's hard to say
Yeah.
what the color is. It's like it's pink and green and orange and white and yellow, and it's really pretty.
Thank you. I consider it kind of like a pearlescent gray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a real atmosphere. It's really pretty.
Hey, Kat, I came in late, so I didn't get a chance to see Bella.
No, I didn't do Bella. I couldn't find the photo and I couldn't find your email. And then I hadn't heard back from you.
I didn't, oh, okay. Oh, well, next time.
Well, because I did one a few years ago that I still have.
Right, so you're the one in the forest?
I remember the photo, but I cannot find it. I could not track it down at all.
Well, next time.
Yeah, do you remember how, I don't even remember how you sent it.
I sent it an email a while back and I said, do you need it again? And you said you thought you had it, so that's okay. We'll just do it another time.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So do you guys have any feedback for how this worked? Or you can send me a chat or.
I'm just impressed that you can do one a day and they look so
Yeah,
good. That's impressive.
That's
really
why
do.
July works, because it's July. It's honestly, it's great because it gives me something to do each day. And I think Dwayne would say it's really good for me to start my day painting. That's another one of those, I recommend it highly to do something that you love every day, especially right now.
Yeah, it's hard right now.
Yeah,
Especially
now.
No.
Saying that, I need to feel connected to people, and it's hard.
Yeah, it is. It's really hard. Yeah. And it's going to be strange and you're used to the school you're starting, and that's going to be so different.
Well, our school is actually going to be in session.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm a little nervous about it, but yeah, it's going to be weird.
Yeah, I mean, I just think after everyone being away for so long, even starting school in session is going to be so different.
Yes, and my son is not going to be in session, which I appreciate. Kirsten, is your school in?
Well, I decided to quit.
Oh, did you?
Oh, Kirsten, you did.
Yes, and I'm feeling very glad because if I hadn't decided to quit, I had a Lyme flare up in December, January, and was feeling awful and agonized about it. And like a week before lockdown, who knew? I decided I'd leave my class, and so was helping my students make the adjustment. And then I got 3 months of online teaching first grade Waldorf students, which was an interesting experience, but it's so unsatisfying. It's just so hard. Everybody's traumatized. So our school is setting up big tents outside.
Oh, good. Wow.
It's going to be outside in a kind of open-sided tent structure.
Yeah.
They're also setting the classrooms up, but they're going to do 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the tents and 2 days online. I feel so bad for all my colleagues because I predict by October it's all going to be shut down.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're going through all this work, and the thing is, you could go through all this work and be totally fine and never have COVID, and it was probably a waste of your time to do all of it. Do all of this stuff, and the first week, get all COVID all over your whole school.
Yeah.
You can do nothing and maybe have nothing. And so we have some vulnerable students and teachers. So even though they're outside, they have to wear masks 100% of the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be difficult for kids.
Yeah.
Well, either way, anyway.
Ever, and they can't play musical flutes ever. And that's
Yeah.
part of the day. And you know, just thinking about it and thinking about my colleagues, I get stressed out and I get a headache, and then I have to say, oh, if I hadn't quit when I did, I'd be saying I can't do it now.
Yeah. It's tricky.
So we've got a good teacher for the class, and now I'm mentoring like everybody.
Oh,
For
good.
some reason they were short on mentors, so I'm mentoring everybody.
You're probably good at that.
Got to do it on Zoom, and you know, I just, you know, after a few Zoom calls, even when they're nice.
I know, it's exhausting. It's strangely exhausting. Yeah. It's
Taking classes at St. Kate's, and they're going to be all online forever for the holistic health program. And the tuition is so high. And I wrote them a letter saying, you really are going to still charge that high of a tuition when I'm just going to sit in my kitchen? It's like, I'm only three or so semesters away from being done with my program, and I don't want to sit for 3.5 hours in the night, in the evening, in a Zoom call. I just,
yeah.
It is hard. You know, it's interesting because, and have you guys found that, like, you know, some things Zoom is better on than others, or?
Oh yeah.
You know, some groups are better on Zoom than others too, kind of.
I think a small, like this is a good number.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm very happy you all showed up. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
You don't need to stay till 8. I'll probably move over here and paint something. So don't feel like you need to stay at all. But I might leave it open just in case somebody joins in late. Because I said I'd be here till 8. I wasn't exactly sure what to expect. I was being like, okay, it's an art opening, so let's hang out. But I'll just have it on.
Kat, have you been doing other painting besides the dogs?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of landscapes. You want to see something?
Yeah.
This is like show and tell. Let's see, I've got this one. Let's see, I have this one.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh, look at that yellow part.
the part in there.
Like the water. See, I did a smaller version that sold almost immediately on my blog. So this is like a big version.
It's beautiful. Oh, I love the color.
That reads yet. I was pretty pleased.
Yeah.
But
Oh God, it's beautiful.
what's that?
Have you been able to go up to the North Shore?
You know, I have not, but Dwayne and Max went up last week they went up Sunday night, a week ago, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. One of Max's friends' grandparents live up there, and so she goes up every summer. And when we would go up and do the solstice pageant in Grand Marais, the two of them hooked up and were able to really play. And so we wanted at least one opportunity for them to hang out. So the two of them ran up. I was teaching summer camp at Breck last week and this week, so I couldn't really go. So they got up there. That's actually from one of the photos that Dwayne took. This one, because it's the light back over here and Artist Point's behind you.
It's beautiful. The sky is beautiful.
Still not, yeah.
Kind of the Sawtooth Mountains there.
Yeah, the Sawtooth Mountains.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Thanks.
So Kat, when you varnish them, what kind of varnish do you varnish them with? Is it spray or brush on or?
Brush on. I used my Liquitex, just a basic acrylic varnish.
And is it glossy or semi-glossy or?
No, I usually use satin. Because satin gives you a nice shine, but this one is a gloss. So this is what I used for these guys. And I just used one of my little sponge brushes.
But so do you have a preference for satin or glossy?
I usually like satin because then it seems like the black stays more matte, which is what I love about doing the black gesso. Like on on Peabody, because I haven't varnished it, the black shows up blacker. And the acrylic is shiny anyway, you know what I mean? You still have that shine on it. But then when you gesso over it, then the black doesn't really show black.
I love that one so much. That one is so pretty.
I like that.
How'd you like it? You have to tell her that.
Kat, I was going to show you. I've got all my cats.
Oh, look at those.
Those are all my cats that she's done over the years.
Oh,
The
yeah.
only one I still have is the one on the top right, which is my calico.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
That
So
was,
that's,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm reading all those.
yeah. And the one of Whiskers that kind of looks like that angel. I don't know. Yeah, I love that one. That's just my favorite. So
That
I'll
was-
add my dog pictures up there.
Yay.
Yay.
I'm so glad that that worked. We got them done. Yay. Oh, and I am trying to figure out an online class. I don't know if all of you are interested in my teaching or not, but I do have one session on Teachable, but it's just a 1-day class, and I've been trying to put a bigger 6-week thing on there, but I think I'm going to create kind of a mentored guide teaching thing and just set it up in Google Classroom and do it that way, because I'm not loving Teachable, I got to admit. But it's just, I miss conversations about art so bad. So I'm kind of planning on doing a September, October, November thing, because I know I'm going to need people like you to talk to through this fall. And I'm going to need
I know, it's
incentive.
strange.
Yeah, it's very strange. I'm going to need incentive to be doing art too. So
You know, it might be kind of fun to do. I mean, to me, it's the same reason I'm not excited about St. Kitts. To do an in-person outside in a picnic shelter where everyone could be at a separate picnic table with masks on. I mean, there's just no substitute for being in the same place. I had a mentor meeting with a teacher, and instead of doing it on Zoom, I said, let's meet at Central Park, and we sat at 10 feet away so we could have masks off. And it's just so much better.
oh yeah, well, it's more casual. I mean, I don't think I usually sit and talk straight at somebody. You know what I mean? Like I would be doodling or painting. And I actually went to the Open Air Painters of Minnesota. Well, actually, no, it was the Star Watercolor Society. They have a plein air painting meeting every Wednesday at 9 somewhere. There's like a list. I don't remember where the list is. If anybody's interested, because it was just fun to go and paint outside with other people. And then you could just kind of casually chat. We were over at Dodge Nature Center 2 weeks ago, and that was really fun. I sat out on the pond and did. But so things like that are possible, but that, Kirsten, that's exactly what I was wanting to do, was figure out some way to do something, like even in the winter. I was like, do I invite people over here? Do we meet in the backyard and just sit away from each other? Because yes, I need that too. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to figure all that out. Like, where is a good place that we could meet? Are you in Roseville, Kirsten?
Yeah.
You are in Roseville.
You know, Como Park has a lot of like kind of pavilions and picnic space.
They
I
do.
went to Central Park, which has this big pavilion next to the band shell, and it's not used very often. Our school uses it for back to school picnic. My daughter had rented the whole thing one time for her wedding. It was really cheap to rent. I mean, so I suppose you'd chance it showing up if people were there.
Right.
But if it wasn't raining, you could go on in the band shell area, you know, or
Right.
Yeah, another place you could, you know, you could try it. I don't know if you can like reserve it or whatever. It's like the pavilion at Como Park, you know, right by the lake.
Yeah.
I think they were saying that's open, but they're not like serving food or anything like that there anymore.
Right. I would imagine.
But yeah.
That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe like every 2 weeks, because I don't know if I could do that every week.
Right.
Somewhere.
Right.
Like if we did a Zoom 1 week and
Right.
then outside the next.
Yeah. That would, yeah. Like we could have our own hybrid.
Yeah.
We could be cool, like the kids.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I got to go. Kat, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice
so
to see everybody. Thanks again. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So Kat, How is the Ivy building doing? Is it repaired and?
No, they are finally working on it, but I understand we're not paying rent. We went and got the panels from there, so we're in and out, and our keys still work, and the people next door to our studio are still working there. The people that do the rehabilitation stuff. But and I've got the air conditioning unit in the window of our studio, so stuff's okay in there. Apparently, what one of the women next door said is they're going to be replacing the hallways floors, but I don't think they need to go into the studios. So it's just it's a weird, nebulous kind of.
But they will be able to fix the building. They don't have to tear down.
I mean, that's the plan, is that they're going to fix it. It's just that, and I have not seen what's going on down there, and I haven't gotten any communication recently about what's going on down there. And I mean, right now I'm not paying rent. So I'm kind of like, do we need to get stuff out, or is it okay? And
Yeah. It was so sad. That's such a beautiful old building.
Yeah, I mean,
I just loved going there.
If I could still be in there, I would probably be having like 1 or 2 people in, like, come on, it's a big enough space. If we've got the air conditioner and an air cleaner going, it'd be fine. But I don't want to do that without knowing that I can. Like, I wouldn't want to, I don't know. It feels too risky in a weird way. So that's, yeah. And there's just, I don't know.
I have to go. My dog is wanting to go for her walk here.
You're wondering what.
Did you hear Max?
Thanks, Kirsten. Yes, I did hear Max, Anita.
Yes, Max is saying, I think it's time to do something fun.
Yes, probably. Hi, Max. Do you need to take them outside?
Max, I can't go for long without fun, in my life.
None of us should go for long without fun.
Kat, thank you so much for doing this.
Thanks for being
I
here.
loved seeing your dog
good.
paintings. You're just so good at capturing the joy of being of a dog.
Good. That's my plan.
And all their many expressions.
Yes. Nothing if not a wall of expressions.
Yes.
Thank you, Anita.
Great to see you. Miss you.
Ooh, I miss you too.